everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm Nick, the videographer at The Medium, and today I'm going to be bringing you a video on the editing process and what I do for YouTube and for you guys to watch ultimately. I'm going to be showing you what I do on the computer and go over some of the hardware stuff I use, showing you some tips and tricks on what I do on Final Cut Pro, and showing you like the process of what I do to bring videos for you guys. So let's just jump into Final Cut Pro. Right now I have a timeline that's empty, and so far I've already kind of clipped together some of the footage that I want to use. But yeah, so one of the first things that I do when I'm editing is I kind of go over the footage and I roughly know what videos I would like to use. What I tend to do is actually do and start playing the video, and once I know this is exactly what I want to use, I press O on the keyboard and press F, and that kind of favorites it for me. So then I can go over to favorites, and then I could see that clip right there for me to pick up later and use in the timeline. So from there I'm able to drag it in, and from there kind of go into the color grading, but that's much later. With editing, you have this vision and you're trying to put footage together in a way that feels cohesive and makes the viewer understand what you're trying to say, right? So for me, drawing out some of the shots that I would like to see in the end, end result. So using a notebook, something small that I use on me is a moleskin journal, and I just draw down stuff that kind of comes to my mind, and I'll bring that with me when I shoot. And so far right now, I've kind of picked together a couple shots and put up some text with some cross dissolve transitions in there as well. And I think right now, just the important stuff is favoriting the clips, getting that on, and kind of going from there and putting the clips in and make it the end result that I'm looking for. Going a little forward with the power of editing, here we can see that we have a lot of stuff going on in terms of the timeline, making sure that there's shots that the viewer could look at while they're listening to the video, and making sure that they're kind of entertained at the same time. And also what I do at The Medium is the best part, which is color editing. And I've made my own workspace here in Final Cut Pro just to make it a lot easier for me. So on Hayden's bit here, this is the C-Log. So I have a lot of room to work with here in terms of color editing. So what I usually do is I go over to Custom LUT in the video effects folder here, and I kind of just drag and drop it on top of this file. Nothing's happened yet. And I just go to Custom LUT and I kind of just choose one of the LUTs that I bought. And this one is from Danny, who is a YouTuber who I follow, and he's got some really good LUTs that I like. So from here I can choose blue, which is also a really good one. And this is great for my camera because I use the Canon R5 and it works really well in terms of the color palette. I think this looks pretty good. I think we're not 100% done yet. I still need to go over some of the color corrections, and it looks like we can bring down the shadows. So we can bring it down there. We don't want to go below 0, and we can also bring out the highlights and add contrast. So here's the difference. Already we're seeing a pretty big difference right now. And if we want, we can also bring out the highlights, but I think keeping it somewhere right there is pretty good. And what I usually do is also I bring up the saturation as well. Not too high. I usually bring it up to 25% or 20%, around there. Okay, the camera died. I am back. Okay, so closing up the video here, how we did this shot here, I'm just going to show you a little bit here.
So yeah, that's our campus. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another video for The Medium.
So what we did here is actually we wanted to close out this video, and I thought it would be a great idea to use the DJI Ronin and kind of get a smooth shot using the gimbal. And for this shot, we were using either a 24 or a 35 millimeter focal length just to get a kind of wider shot. So here at the end of the video, I usually just kind of close on a good note and start it at a lower volume with the music and then progressively kind of bring it up, hyping it up, getting it to a good space, a good volume. And I put the logo at the end here after a kind of cross dissolve. In our last video, I did it with a jump cut from closing out with that transition of just jump cut, then showing the medium right afterwards. And honestly, I think with here, this cross dissolve works really well, and just the style that I kind of go for. And yeah, so I show the logo here with the website, the medium.ca, and I just bring out the song a little bit at the same time. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This is what goes on in terms of color grading, editing, and planning basically for these videos. It takes a lot of time, and we're super happy to be constantly putting out new content for you guys to watch. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below or on Instagram. But anyways, guys, take it easy. We'll see you next one. Peace.